So before I get started, I want to say a couple of things about the weekend and the storm and what happened on campus. I'm not going to go into the details of what happened yesterday. I sent you an email about it. But I do want to recognize that we faced an emergency situation that was something that we had not anticipated. And in any kind of emergency, we learn something. So we will also incorporate anything that we learned from the last events in our thinking for the future. But I do want to recognize the work of some of the people that were involved in making sure that our students were safe and that the campus was in good shape and did a tremendous amount of work. The people in facilities, you have no idea how much work went into preparation to anticipate what happened. Absolutely. And to help in the recovery after the event. I mean, I saw these people working around the clock. People in housing and residential life, they had opening day, students coming in, and they had all these things that on top of that was piled up with a hurricane. I mean, that was amazing the way that they came together to face things like running out of lights in emergency lights. The batteries in the emergency lights have a limited time span. Goldenberg South ran out of electricity. We didn't have any lights. We had to start evacuating students. I mean, it was a very, very complex issue. Public safety, that had to make sure not only that the students were safe, but that the personal belongings in the residence halls were safe as well when the people left the residence halls. The people in dining services that had no power, and they had to feed 4,500 people with a generator, and somehow managed to do that. That's incredible. And of course, the people in IT that made sure that all the systems are back on. So please join me in thanking all of them again, because this is just an incredible work. And I also want to thank all of you for all that you have done and for your flexibility, just being flexible and understanding that things, when we have an emergency like this, change, and being willing to come here today and be part of this opening ceremony. I would also like now to formally start and welcome all the new people that have joined us for the first time, all the new faculty and staff that are here. Can I ask anyone who is new to please stand up and we will welcome you? Yeah, we have some new people here. I also want to recognize our Chair of the Council of Trustees, Mr. Rich Orwig, who always joins us as part of the institution and has been a trustee for over 20 years. So thank you for being here. And although he is not here today, I do want to recognize Mr. Guido Picchini, who has recently been appointed as Chair of the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education Board of Governors. He is the first graduate of the PASHI system to be appointed to this position, and he is a KU alum, so we're very proud of him. So, Jeremy, thank you. Another loyal supporter of Kutztown University was the Honorable Michael Opaque, who passed away last December. As part of our Family Day activities in September 24th, we will honor Senator Opaque's memory by naming Keystone Fieldhouse in his honor. This morning, I want to begin by focusing on how the recent budget reductions will affect our university in the year ahead, and leave you with a vital important charge for us all. As you all know, our institution has faced unprecedented budget challenges and changes over the past 3 years. As Commonwealth funding has decreased, we have dealt with very painful decisions, which I am sure have touched us all in one way or another. Earlier this year, we were confronted with a shocking possibility that our Commonwealth funding could be reduced by as much as 50%. Thanks to our supporters, and including many of you in attendance this morning, the importance of a KU University and state system education was communicated loud and clear to the decision makers in Harrisburg. In the end, an 18% reduction in state funding and a 7.5% tuition increase resulted in a deficit of $3.8 million for us. Over the past 3 years, we have cut our expenditures by nearly $10 million, primarily through the elimination of about 85 positions on campus. Our decision this summer resulted in a major reorganization and established the framework for an updated strategic plan. Protecting our academic core and doing what is best for our current and future students has and will continue to be at the center of our mission and vision. We can and will move forward, and I am confident we will continue to achieve excellence while providing our region with graduates who will make a difference in the workplace and community. With that in mind, I want to share with you some of the major changes in the structure of our university moving forward. Effective July 26, Dr. Charles Woodard announced his retirement as Vice President of Student Services and Campus Life. Dr. Woodard was a great influence to this campus for the past 2 decades. The growth and improvement of our student life area, the outstanding success of our athletic programs, the expansion of our own campus housing, and our strong community relations can directly be attributed to Chick and his excellent staff. I am really grateful to Chick and everything that he done, and I asked him to be here this morning, and I'm going to ask him to stand up so we can recognize and thank him for all that he did for 20 years for us. Chick. Thank you. I think it's the first time I've seen Chick speechless. We will be honoring Vice President Emeritus Woodard later in the fall in a formal reception. We'll let all of you know. With Chick's departure, we decided to eliminate his former position to help meet budgetary needs and have disseminated the duties of his division to the remaining members of cabinet. Intercollegiate athletics and sports medicine have become a part of the Division of Advancement and will report to Associate Vice President John Green. Public safety and police services, recreational services, the student union and the newly termed housing, residence life, and dining services will report to the Division of Administration and Finance under Vice President Jerry Silverman. The freshman orientation program, connections, health and wellness services, counseling, the multicultural and women's centers, the GLBTQ, and the Dean of Student Services and Campus Life will become part of the newly named Division of Academic and Student Affairs and will report to Vice President and Provost Carlos Vargas Aburto. Another major change we have implemented is the transfer of the previously state-funded alumni relations function from the Advancement Division to the Kutztown University Foundation. The responsibilities will be handled by existing KU Foundation staff and will result in savings of nearly $300,000 per year for the university. We believe, after a short adjustment period, that all of these changes will allow each of the aforementioned areas to continue to thrive, grow, and help guide our university into the future. I am also pleased to announce that KU will host Felix Vallejo from Universidad del Valle in Mexico as an ACE Fellow during the 2011-2012 academic year. We are thrilled to have him as part of us for this year. It is a tradition for us at the start of each year to hear from the leaders of our Senate and bargaining units, all of which are imperative to our university's accomplishments and success. I would like to start by asking Dr. Daryl Johnson, the new president of the University Senate, to please come forward for some comments. Daryl?
Well, originally I was going to do a Hugh Jackman opening number, which included Don't Rain on My Parade and other songs about rain, but things change. Heraclitus once said that change is the only thing that endures. Well, we've been enduring a lot of change lately, from the budget going up and down 50%, 18% in our appropriations, a change in student affairs and a change in personnel, and many of them will be sorely missed here at Kutztown. Change, the only thing that remains constant. The University Senate office has changed locations. It's now located in 127 Old Main. We've changed presidents, and I thank Maria Sinelli for 4 years as president and C.J. Rhodes as executive secretary, and we welcome Sue Mangold as the new executive secretary for the Senate. We also have moved our meeting location, no longer in the sub because of a number of renovations. We will be located the first Thursday at 4 o'clock of every month in Academic Forum 203. We also have some changes to our committees that we'll be looking at, including strategic planning and resources, space allocation and resources, as well as starting several new committees, including a permanent campus climate committee. And yes, there will be a report presented to the campus next week about all the work that we did last semester, as well as a permanent committee on retention and persistence of students, really focusing on the students in their sophomore, juniors, and senior years. We also have a new email address. You can ask any questions, comments, even a compliment or two if you want, and just send it to senate@kutztown.edu. So I want to welcome you here this morning and say, keep a song in your heart, an umbrella close to hand, and get ready for some more changes. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Daryl. Please welcome Dr. Paul Quinn, President of APSCOF.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all today, and I hope you all had a great summer and look forward to the new academic year. I have two main issues to quickly discuss with you this morning. There's negotiations, and there's a couple of local campus issues. So I'll start with the easiest first, which is negotiations. There's been very little communication other than coming from the state president this summer. We have a new professional negotiator that we hired. His name is Stuart Davidson, and Stuart Davidson has a lot of experience negotiating. He's actually negotiated for the NFL as one of those people he's negotiated for. And under his advice, right, communications need to come through our state president, Steve Hicks. So there's been some emails from Steve Hicks that have come down, I know, throughout this summer. Really, there's nothing that's happened. There's been some exchange of proposals, right? There's been some banter back and forth. The state has now hired, PASHE has now hired a new chief negotiator, all right? So with schedules and whatnot, there's not going to be any meetings until I think it's late September, the 30th maybe. Okay, so at this point, there's really nothing. Right now, the contract holds as it is, all right? Salaries, schedules, rules, everything according to the contract is in place. So at this point, what I'll try to do is, we have a meeting, Legislative Assembly coming up. I really think the chapter president should be more involved in giving out information. I've said that all along, but there's 14 of us as a board, and you have to respect the decisions of the board. So we will work on that issue, and I'll probably leak stuff out anyway, now that the school year has started. So at this point, we will start ramping up, toward, starting our solidarity fund and all these other things that come with the strike. But there's very little movement at this point, and I don't expect there to be any. Now, who knows? With the new chief negotiator, maybe something will happen. We'll have to see, but that's where it stands for now. The other thing to talk about, of course, is some campus issues. So the last time I talked to a lot of you was when we had a meeting here discussing 50% reduction in the budget. Right? And we were looking at like a $27 million, cut here going on at KU. We're talking about faculty positions, all kinds of positions. And I have to say that because of the work of a lot of people in the union, right? Locally, statewide, that's been reduced. So the president and the provost had lots of meetings with the local union leadership, and they stuck to their word, and no faculty positions, no further faculty positions were eliminated due to this budget cut. We still have the retrenchments going on of nursing, advisement, and theater, but nothing further than that has occurred due to these current budget cuts that are going forward. So, for this coming year, we're going to continue to work and talk about budgets, obviously, because I'm sure this is not the end of what you're going to see coming from Harrisburg. Okay? We also need conversations about Gen Ed, assessment, a new SRI, which was postponed, but is due to be implemented this year. So these are things that will have to be talked about. We will monitor the budget, we'll have a lot of frank conversations, and continue to meet and communicate with the administration at the table. And we will not back down from what's best for the union issues. As a union, we must stick together as a whole. The good of the whole is what we must have moving forward. That's for local negotiations, that's for state negotiations. Because if you divide and conquer, right, that's how you beat a union. I'm going to just talk about a couple little things quickly. I know I'm over time. As a union president, there's a lot of responsibilities, and I have learned that I need to rely on my team a little bit more than I may have in the past. And so we're going to try something a little different this year. After looking at what issues there are, there's patterns of things that occur, right? And there's like payroll issues and evaluation issues and various issues. So this year in exec, what we're going to do is, instead of everyone coming to the president, we're going to come to the president and the exec team. So certain exec team members will be experts on certain issues. And what I will do is we have an exec meeting on Thursday. We finalize this, and then we will put out a communication to you just to let you know, for example, if you have a promotions question, you may go to this member. If you have an evaluations question, you may go to this member. And that will be made clear. So look for that email to come out. Also, last year, I got away from weekly communications and things like that. I'm going to start a weekly communication, and I now have a set office hour on Tuesdays from 9 o'clock to 11. So I will be in the union office in Old Main, 9 o'clock to 11. So it's a fresh year. It's a new year. I look forward to working with all of you, working with the administration, and to keep us unified and moving forward as APSCUF. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Representing SCUPA, please welcome Francis Gofran Cortez Funk.
Good morning, everyone. This is going to be a little bit different than previous addresses that were done on opening day because the members gave me a list. So, on behalf of the State College University Professional Association, I'd like to extend our gratitude to all the personnel who worked through Irene this weekend. SCUPA is the professional bargaining unit here at Kutztown University. We are proud and committed to our work. If anything we learned this weekend is the value of our work. Good morning, my name is Francis Cortez Funk, and I am the KU president of SCUPA. I strongly believe that our life experiences prepare us for the work ahead of us. For people that know me, I grew up in the union halls of the United Steelworkers of America, and I visited my mother often in the sewing mills in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I've been mentored with some of the most accomplished national union leaders, and for those who know me, my theme here has always been I wanted to stay under the radar because I like doing the work in the background. But with current attacks on public education, we all must become engaged. A union is not the elected officials. It's not the handful of people that jump up and down with outrage. A union is the collective bargaining voice of a unit. Our strength is our members' willingness to engage in our collective bargaining rights. Over the past few years, I am proud to report that SCUPA has become more engaged here at the university. A few weeks ago, a group of members gave me a list of concerns and charged me with this duty to share our voice with you today. These items are a list of concerns and an invitation to strengthen our engagement with administration here at Kutztown University and their decision makers. We invite conversation to reflect on the events that occurred on July 26, when the workforce reduction plan was implemented on campus. We are all champions in education, and we hold our institution to high expectation. And what comes to mind, if someone was texting one another that day, would be those letters of SMH, which means shake my head. We are very proud being here at the university, but we also would like to invite a conversation with administration. 3 of our members' lives had changed that day on July 26th. We empathize with all because we feel a traumatic feeling of loss. SCUPA members at our meeting had described their feelings as at a loss and also some shaken trust. The Multicultural Center experienced a drastic reduction in personnel. This year will be a challenge. The Multicultural Center now is laboring over decisions on what services we are to cut. We are concerned about the impact on the students' opportunities. SCUPA also supports the importance of the high visibility of the Women's Center. KU's reality is that women are the majority here. SCUPA is concerned about stretching personnel resources. SCUPA members are asked to absorb duties that were once held by positions that have been eliminated. We are paying attention to the details. We have not felt the full effects of the KU workforce reduction plan. In days, weeks, and months to come, collapse in positions have equated to increased workloads. It is disheartening also to know that offices can close with the stroke of a pen. What happened to our bargaining unit work will be something we will be asking. It is our duty to pay attention to these maneuvers. As we go forward, I am confident that our professional members will continue to provide outstanding services to our students, and this weekend pretty much highlights our commitment. But as we all know, decisions have consequences. Some may be positive and some will be negative. In time, we will see. Education is changing, and SCUPA can no longer remain under the radar. In the past year, we have done well in distributing our professional development benefits. We have success in presenting grievances and negotiating agreements. SCUPA has also established regular dialogue with HR and administration. We are to become stewards of a collective bargaining agreement, and most of all, advocate for the importance and our value here at the university. I am closing because I'm proud to say our SCUPA members, I'm proud for their decision this morning in exercising our collective voice with you today. And I believe I hit everything on the list they gave to me. And we wish success in this upcoming year. And we invite the engagement and the ongoing dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you, Fran. Please welcome Ray Duncan Jr. representing AFSCME.
Good morning. Good morning, faculty, staff, and students. I'm Ray Duncan Jr., President of AFSCME Local 2234. The officers, executive board, and myself welcome you to the 2011-2012 school year. This year was especially challenging with Governor Corbett's original education budget cutting by 52%. It was gratifying to see all the unions, management, and students rally together to fight this injustice. By showing the government without the education, these United States were going to end up like a third world country. Definitely what we would not like to see happen. So in the end, the budget cut was less, but it was still a challenge. None of our members lost their jobs, but we had to move some people into other areas to keep everyone employed. But the trials are not over, as we've been challenged on different fronts again. But we must all remember that in today's job market, we'll have to learn to be flexible. Even though as a country we are dealing with tough economic times, still, we are providing to ourselves and to other countries that we are working together and will be sticking together to get through these tough times. But we want our members to know we hear and understand your issues. We too are affected by the same problems you are, and we are doing our best to address these issues. The Executive Board meets every month for an hour before the general membership meeting and also meets once a month with management to discuss your concerns with management. We ask that our full members join us every Monday of the third Monday of the month at Janelle's Catering in Bowers at 7 p.m. The food is on us. In closing, I encourage all of us to continue to work together because accomplishments will happen when we all work together. Thank you. And thank you, President Cevallos.
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ray. It is a tradition at our opening day festivities to acknowledge the accomplishments of one of our outstanding faculty members through the presentation of the Arthur and Isabel Wissenberger Faculty Award for Excellence in Teaching. Before we present this year's honor, I would first like to acknowledge the previous faculty award recipients. Some of them are here today, and I will ask them to stand and please remain standing and please hold your applause until all names have been read. Professor Patrick Doty, Biology. Professor Jack Schellenberg, Physical Sciences. Professor John Landis, Communication Design. Professor Ed Evans, Mathematics and CIS. Professor Alida McKinley, History. Professor James Ogden, Marketing. Professor David Peterson, Audiovisual Communications. Professor John Loomis, Physical Sciences. Professor Kathleen Dolgos, Secondary Education. Professor Tommy Shantz, Art Education and Crafts. Professor Arifin Daneshar, Economics. Professor Robert Ziegenfuss, Geography. Professor Michael Gabriel, History. Professor Elaine Reed, English, Professor Dave Wagaman, Accounting and Finance, Professor Willis Rapp, Music, Professor Alan Back, Philosophy. Thank you all again for everything that you do for KU. And if you notice, I use the title professor instead of doctor when I talk about the Wissenberger Award because it is excellence in teaching as professors. I would like to ask the Director of Alumni Engagement, Alex Ojica, to join me at this time to present the 2011 Wissenberger Award. So, Alex? The recipient of the 2011 Arthur and Isabel Wissenberger Faculty Award for Excellence in Teaching is Evan Sommer, Professor of the Fine Arts. Professor Sommer, congratulations, and please come forward. On opening day last year, I shared with you the 3 primary goals of Cabinet related to our strategic plan and driven by our Middle States accreditation. I am proud to report that we have made significant progress on all 3 goals, and I would like to briefly share the results at this time. Our first goal was to begin the new general education model implementation process. This was met with success, as the new general education curriculum is being introduced this fall for all incoming freshmen. It has clearly stated learning goals, which will be used to assess learning successes and enhance the educational experience of our students. With this new model, KU is joining the national conversation about transforming higher education to more clearly, explicitly, and collaboratively provide our students with the knowledge and skills needed for success in the 21st century. For those who are new to general education, I invite you to learn more by visiting the website that is on your screen. Our second goal was to demonstrate evidence of continuous assessment of student learning outcomes and institutional effectiveness. This would include verification that budgeting, planning, and resource allocations are used effectively in decision-making processes that support institutional programs and structures that enhance student learning and success. We made significant strides in this area over the past year, thanks to the hard work of our institutional effectiveness implementation team. Instructional and non-instructional units identified goals, worked to achieve those goals, documented progress, and will continue to use evidence to improve planning and decision-making. In addition, we are concentrating on the development of the monitoring report, which we will send to Middle States next March. There is still important work to be done in this area through the update of our strategic plan, which I will share with you shortly. Our third goal was to improve the overall communication on campus. This was to begin with my office and include regular communications reaching the entire university community. To accomplish this goal, we instituted a periodic update to the campus community during the academic year, the President's Update, provided information on current issues, and highlighted some of the many outstanding accomplishments of our campus. In addition, we enhanced the faculty staff newsletter, the Daily Brief, to make it easier to read, more interesting, and more dynamic through the use of Flickr, video, and KU personality features. We have also enhanced our communication through social media, such as Twitter and Facebook, which has now more than 10,000 fans. I want to thank everyone who played a part in helping us achieve these goals. The results have definitely enhanced our campus and established an excellent foundation for future planning. It is always encouraging on this day to look back to review the key accomplishments of our university over the past year. They are a clear indication that no matter what challenges we face, we continue to remain focused on accomplishing our goals. Let us start with academic and student affairs, led by Dr. Carlos Vargas Aburto, Provost and Vice President. I want to thank Carlos' division for taking the lead in the aforementioned general education and assessment goals and highlight a few other things. We had 12,000 student applications, a record number received and processed by the University of Undergraduate Admissions for this academic year. 18% of the freshman class is students of color, the highest level of diversity ever. And we also received more than 1,900 transfer applications. Our student honors were highlighted by KU senior Alison Koser, a double major in physics and mathematics, who received the Syed R. Ali Saidi Award for Academic Excellence. This award is given to only one PASHI student each year, and it is the first time a KU student was the recipient. In addition, 27 students received university funding to carry out undergraduate research. On the faculty side, Dr. Kunal Das and Dr. Edwin Oakley received research grants from one of science's most prestigious research funding agencies, the National Science Foundation. Also, there was approximately a 2% increase in professional publications over 2009-2010, an approximate 5% increase in professional presentations, and an approximate 9% increase in service to the profession or community. We are excited to report that the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, AACSB, accepted the first annual progress report submitted by the College of Business. The second report is due in June 2012. 3 new program proposals were submitted to PASHI for approval. They include an MS in Criminal Justice, a Professional Science Master's in Computer Science, and a minor in Art History. 2 letters of intent were also submitted, a BS MS in Mathematics, and an MFA in Communication Design. This past spring, the Department of Human Kinetics was moved from the College of Education to the College of Business and renamed the Department of Sport Management. Although we went live in the spring, fall 2011 is the first semester in which we are utilizing the new PeopleSoft software from start to finish. We provided electronic bills for the first time in our history, and MyKU is now open for business to access campus solutions. In the student affairs area, 3,400 students provided 47,544, that's precise, hours of community service to the borough, township, and surrounding communities during 2010-2011. The Community Outreach Center provided 1,500 students with hundreds of opportunities to complete 10,000 hours of volunteerism to local food banks, community agencies, and educational organizations. 2,002 freshmen attended Connections in June 2010, a record number, and 906 family members also attended Family Connections, another record number. A new ADA-compliant health and wellness center opened in 2010, allowing for better student health care and increasing the number of students that can be served. The University Counseling Center made a successful transition as it completed its first year in this new facility. Switching to administration and finance, Jerry Silverman, Vice President. Significant construction is underway on campus. However, much of it is related to non-glamour projects such as concrete work, chiller replacement, water infiltration remediation, etc. Nevertheless, there are a few capital projects that warrant mention. First, Schaefer Auditorium. The design of this project is nearing completion, with construction to commence in January of 2012. This $18.2 million project includes the renovation of the entire facility, as well as an addition of 14,000 gross square feet. Second, the maintenance building. Construction has commenced on this $8 million project, which will include an expansion to the existing maintenance building and the demolition and relocation of the university garage and former heat plant. And Beck Hall. Final work has been completed on this project, which provides a much-needed facelift and upgrades to the student housing rooms on the second and third floor of this facility. Beck Hall is the first of several residence halls which will be renovated while maintaining the traditional room configuration. These changes will improve the housing environment for our students, particularly freshmen, as they transition into college life. One of the great features of our campus is its beauty, and that continues to be acknowledged at the national level. For the second year in a row, our campus grounds were honored with a Green Star honor awarded by the Professional Grounds Management Society. This annual competition is designed to find the most beautiful publicly and privately maintained campuses in the nation. Congratulations again to our KU grounds crew, led by Associate Vice President Jeff Grimm and Assistant Director of Campus Services Will Meeker. Congratulations. We will now move on to the Division of University Advancement, led by John Green, Associate Vice President. A primary tactical difference in our 2011 marketing was the inclusion and expansion of social and digital media into our campaigns. Master's programs, summer sessions, transfer students especially benefited from social media such as Facebook and LinkedIn and targeted online banner advertising. Highlights of our marketing effort included a new KU Presents website, the creation of new videos and DVDs for the College of Visual and Performing Arts, and a new electronic media program brochure. In addition to taking the lead with our communications goal, the University Relations Office was responsible for the development of a new series of recruiting brochures for our admissions office. Work continued on Project Redo, the revamping and redesign of our website, which is expected to launch at the beginning of the new calendar year. Our web team has completed its research and work to develop the site design, which we can share with you at this time by showing you what the homepage will look like. The new brochures and website will be crucial in our marketing efforts to continue to attract the brightest and best students. In addition, thanks to university relations work, KU continued at the forefront of regional news and sport media throughout the year. KU Presents served more than 6,500 patrons last year and more than 2,000 elementary, middle, and high school students through education and outreach, performing arts, and programming. This year also featured the successful opening of the new presenting series, the Ursa Minor Cafe in the MSU Multipurpose Room, with 4 concerts of diverse world-class artists. This series would also serve as a primary performing arts and entertainment series during the renovations of Schaefer Auditorium. Our conference service office continued to increase the number and quality of camps, increasing revenue approximately by $60,000 over the previous year, while our Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center reorganized personnel and its advisory committee while developing a master plan for its future. The newest member of Advancement, Intercollegiate Athletics, had another year to remember in 2010-11. 11 of our 21 teams competed in NCAA championships, highlighted by the best ever season for our football team. Our Golden Bears finished with a team record 10 wins, advancing to the NCAA playoffs for the first time ever, and attracted record-setting crowds in the process. In addition, our men's tennis team won its 3rd consecutive Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference title and an unprecedented 10th in the past 12 years. And our student athletes continue to excel in the classroom, highlighted by women's basketball standout Melissa McQuaid. Melissa finished as our all-time leading women's basketball scorer and rebounder, while graduating with a 3.94 GPA and earning a spot on the National Capital One Academics All-American second team. She joined 99 other KU student athletes on the Dean's List this past spring and was one of 125 Golden Bear student athletes earning PSAC Scholar Athlete status during last academic year. That is the 2nd highest number in school history. Congratulations to all of our student athletes and coaches for their outstanding successes. Switching to the Division of Equity and Compliance, Jesus Peña, Esquire, Associate Vice President. During the 2010-11 academic year, the Office of Social Equity monitored more than 150 faculty and management searches From assisting with recruitment strategies to reviewing rubrics and interview questions to certifying candidates to be interviewed, the Office of Social Equity works side by side with our search committees to hire the best qualified and diverse faculty and staff in furtherance of our university's mission to provide a high-quality education. As in previous years, the Office of Social Equity compiled and made available to the campus the university's annual affirmative action plan, which serves as a snapshot of our university's workforce and is designed to identify and address the underutilization, if any, of qualified women and minorities within our workforce. The Office of Social Equity updated our university's sexual harassment, anti-discrimination, and anti-harassment policies to ensure we're providing an appropriate learning and working environment in compliance with our laws, regulations, and university policies. Within the next few weeks, the Office of Social Equity expects to unveil the policies training program online through D2L, so faculty and staff may receive the training electronically at their convenience. In furtherance of our university mission and vision of access, inclusion, and equal opportunity, the Disability Service Office currently serves 510 students, with an additional 317 students in the process of obtaining services. And finally, let's take a look at the KU Foundation and Alumni Engagement. Jason Ketter, Executive Director. As you may recall, about a year ago, the KU Foundation separated its operations from the university. This move ensured that KU donor records remain confidential and are protected by the foundation. This was a necessary step and very much in line with the actions taken by other PASHE schools. The foundation remains a non-profit fundraising organization for Kutztown University, though it is legally separated from the university. 2010-11 was a successful year for the KU Foundation, though one that also brought with it a series of changes. First, the foundation received new leadership with the appointment of Jason Ketter in February. Jason, a KU alumnus, brings more than 20 years of fundraising and alumni relations experience to the job. We welcome Jason's leadership, enthusiasm, and passion for KU. As I mentioned, the foundation is now responsible for alumni services and programming. The foundation reorganized its staff to carry out all alumni relations activities under its existing budget. On account of this change, the foundation will use a working name, one that reflects its new dual purpose, Kutztown University Foundation and Alumni Engagement. The Alumni Engagement Office will continue to build beneficial relationships among KU alumni and between the university and its graduates. The foundation had some excellent accomplishments during the 2010-11 fiscal year. There have been some significant gifts. For example, a $50,000 gift from the Diebold Foundation to support the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center, the establishment of a $200,050 endowed scholarship from alumnus Jim Zellner and his wife Joanna, and a substantial gift from Carol and Ray Niag to fund undergraduate research by students within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. This research fund will directly impact the students' work by providing the equipment, travel, or financial wherewithal necessary for the completion of research projects, and will help support students in their academic and intellectual endeavors. In addition, one of the most exciting efforts undertaken by the foundation is the formal launch of a comprehensive campaign, a capital campaign called Setting the Stage, the Campaign for Kutztown University. So named because one of the priorities set by the university for this campaign is the renovation of Schaefer Auditorium. This campaign is designed to help celebrate the upcoming 150th anniversary of the founding of KU by securing much needed resources to benefit both the university overall and its students and faculty. To date, the campaign has raised approximately $7.1 million, or the $15 million goal, and will conclude its operations in time for the celebration of Kutztown's sesquicentennial. Finally, a major undertaking by the foundation has been the development of a new website for foundation and alumni engagement. With the launch of givetoku.org, you can browse information about supporters of KU, the impact of philanthropy, detailed resources on planned giving and estate planning, information on the campaign, and ways to make a gift in support of our students and faculty. We look forward to more good things to come out of the foundation and alumni engagement operations. So let's have a round of applause for all the accomplishment by all of our divisions. And the foundation, please. Yeah. Finally, I want to share with you what has to be the priority for all of us in the months ahead, the update of our strategic plan. For anyone who has been paying even the slightest attention to current affairs, global strife and conflict, crushing human need around the world, and closer to home, great financial fluctuations, high unemployment, confrontational politics, and general concern and anxiety, we know these are extraordinarily challenging times. Higher education, particularly public higher education, is not removed from this larger context. States across the country, including Pennsylvania, are struggling to match modest resources and revenues with rapidly expanding public needs, including education at all levels. In this environment of ever-rising expectations regarding return on investment, it is absolutely critical that we be able to articulate a clear and defensible vision of the role our university plays. With the perspective of hindsight, some of our past years now seem to have been quieter, gentler times. The years ahead, with likely fluctuations of public funding, greater calls for accountability, and the need to use our resources as prudently as possible, it is all the more urgent that we have a strategic plan that is grounded in a realistic and rigorous assessment of our environment, our resources, and our opportunities. This plan must be the roadmap to allocate our finite resources and fulfill our mission. The strategic planning process we embarked upon in 2008 was certainly consultative and inclusive. But what was formulated in the end was something akin to a wish list of initiatives. What was lacking in the final version was any priority of initiatives or specific action steps to accomplish them, and equally important, the metrics by which progress might be assessed, any assignment of responsibility to particular parties or individuals, and a timetable. I am convinced, therefore, that we must revise or revisit the current strategic plan. We must sort through the 39 initiatives listed under the 4 major goals, and we must put a smaller number of key projects and initiatives in priority. Moreover, for each of these, we must supply specific detailed metrics for assessment and assign responsibility. By doing so, we will also be compliant with the mandate of the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. Kutztown University has a noble mission and a venerable tradition of which we are rightly proud. If we are to distinguish ourselves among the Pennsylvania state colleges and universities, we must recognize, however painful the consequences may be, that we simply cannot do everything. The substance of our planning must be selective, and to be so, we must have an overall strategic plan. Recognizing the importance of this effort, and indeed the added urgency that it be completed in a timely fashion, and at the same time keeping up with our tradition of shared governance, during the last few days I consulted with our governance bodies and unions and appointed a task force to work on the plan. The group will be co-chaired by Dr. Carol Wells and Dr. James Dell. The strategic plan task force begin work immediately with a deadline of December 1st of this year to deliver an updated and restructured strategic plan. Throughout the work of the task force, there will be regular communiques to the campus community via our website with invitations for comments, suggestions, and revisions. This will be complemented by 2 campus-wide meetings where the task force will share its work to that point, and the entire campus community will have the opportunity to offer its comments and questions. The stakes are high, and the times are ahead uncertain, but the optimist that I am sees this route as our best way of drawing on our traditional strengths, eliciting the best creative ideas of our colleagues, and setting our course as clearly as possible. In closing, I want to thank you for coming this morning, and thank you all for your commitment to our students. Although the way we approach our work in the future may be different than it has been in the past, I know that we will continue to do what is necessary to provide an outstanding education to the region and beyond, just as we have done for the past 145 years. Thanks for your attention this morning. Let's make it a good first day and a great year. Thanks.